Hello, today is a Friday, February 3rd, 2023. I am sitting on a curb just in the front yard of Nonsan Cooperative, Farmers Cooperative. As Nonsan is the city in the middle of the Korean Peninsula, and it's a rural city. But it's a military city too, because it has Korea's biggest army training center here, Nonsan. So this 농협 market is quite big, and I'm sitting. I just had some small bite, some small snack inside the local food market that's on the downstairs, and I just finished their kind of a second lunch after first lunch, and I'm sitting on a curb trying to read this article. I saved this article for the later day English reading. I don't know what it is. I've never read this article before. I'm trying to read this English article to practice English, to hone in on my English, so that I could stay above the water in the sea of English, or American English to be exact. So I'm going to read this interesting article to pick up the knowledge about the bartending, and also about English learning. And I've never heard about the etiquette at the bar. So let's learn how the American bar etiquette is all about, and how we could behave better if it needs to be. So I'm going to read this interesting article now. Okay. This article is from inside.com, and the title is kind of, I've been a bartender for over 20 years. Here are 5 things you should never do at a bar, and the mistakes I see people make. Okay, so interesting article. Now let me sit on the curb again. I just changed my it's not clear. I want some place where I could sit on. Let me go over there and see if while I'm walking towards some kind of bench under a pergola, let me continue to read this article. Kiyata Mincy Parker is the founder and executive director of a Sip of Paradise Garden, a non-profit bartender and hospitality community garden. Interesting, just interesting. It's a non-profit bartender and hospitality community garden. That's just purely interesting. Kayata Mincy Parker has 21 years of bartending experience under her belt. Parker says it's rude to snap your fingers to get a bartender's attention, and you might be ignored. Damn, don't make a snapping sound to a bartender, man. It's not the Wild West anymore. It used to be the Wild West, but now is not wild anymore, motherfucker. You will be shouted at as a motherfucker. So be careful, man. Okay, so here I am. I'm sitting on a bench. Whew. Kenyatta Mincy. Okay, Parker also suggests tipping at least 18% for good service. Well, in Korea we don't tip. It's same with Japanese, Chinese, Malaysians, Indonesians, Singaporean. In Asia we don't tip. In Europe they don't tip. But in America you have to tip. That's bullshit, man. Everything should be included in the menu so that we could decide whether to choose that menu or not, or whether we should go into that restaurant or not. Otherwise, it's like a caveat, some kind of a trap, man. Anyway, that's American culture. Inside Today, sign up to get the inside scoop on today's biggest stories in markets, tech, and business. Delivered daily. Yeah, I just searched for the Insider today and get the news. So for the time being, I will pass. But I'm sure Insider today is a very renowned, dependable, and trustworthy source. Unlike the fake news that Trump always says about the media, when opportunity strikes, take action at precisely the right moment. CME Group. Okay. This As Told to SA is based on a conversation with Kenyatta Mincy Parker. This As Told to SA, the executive director of SIP of Paradise Garden, a community garden for bartenders in Atlanta, Georgia. The following has been edited for length and clarity. I have been bartending for 21 years. I also run cocktail classes and consult for various restaurants to help them build their menu and train their staff. Help them build their menu. That's good. First time expression that I've encountered. I help them build their menu, right? Help them build their menu. I've been in this industry for decades and still see people make the same mistakes at the bar over and over again, I guess. Here are 5 of the biggest ones I noticed. 1. Snapping your fingers. Don't snap your fingers to get bartenders' attention. It's rude, man. Rude, dude. Don't wave and snap your fingers at bartenders. This comes off as rude, and it will probably get you ignored. This is good. Another good sentence. This comes off as rude, and it will probably get you ignored. Yeah, passive sentence. Beautiful passive sentence. This comes off as rude, and it will probably get you ignored. Do make eye contact. If you feel you've been waiting too long and no one has acknowledged you, try making eye contact, nodding, or raising your hand. Always treat your bartender the way you would like to be treated. We see you and we will get to you as soon as we can. I don't know. This snapping your fingers at a bartender will comes off as rude, and you will be likely to be ignored, man. Don't try that. It will probably get you ignored. 2. Sending a drink to a stranger. Not in the movie, man. In the old 1950s, 60s, 70s movie, the main character, protagonist, comes into the bar and offers a shot to a stranger or a beautiful lady. That's purely unimaginable nowadays. It will come as a surprise or a threat or sexual advance. Don't send a stranger you find attractive a drink directly. Don't send a stranger you find attractive a drink directly. If you want to send a drink to a stranger you find attractive, it's essential to be cautious. Some people may be flattered by that, while others may feel turned off. They would feel turned off. Others may feel turned off. I felt turned off a lot of times at work this year. I don't know. My manager and my colleagues, especially Mr. C. I I don't know. I feel like they are ignoring me. They are despising me for my age because I'm the second most senior in my team. That doesn't mean that I'm stupid or I work less or I work inefficiently. Rather, I see them goofing around a lot while I go outside meeting our customers. So they are doing just bullshit and they are just nothing to me. And I feel turned off by them. So here the expression resounds with my case. If you want to send a drink to a stranger you find attractive, it's essential to be cautious. Some people may be flattered by that. Some people may flattered by that, while others may feel turned off. Maybe 10 years ago, 10 years or 20 years ago, this might have been a thing, but these days I would avoid it. Yeah, maybe 10 years ago this might have been a thing. Yeah, maybe 10 years ago this might have been a thing. Maybe 10 years ago this might have been a thing. 2. Check with the bartender first. Even though it's a polite gesture, people are cautious of strangers who don't have the best intentions. What if they put something in the drink? What if they put something in the drink? What if they put something in the drink? Cautious, man. Very cautious. Yeah, maybe 10 years ago that might have been a thing. Instead of directly sending a drink to someone, I suggest checking in with the bartenders first. You can ask the bartender, hey, I would like to buy a drink for the lady at the end of the bar. Could you ask her if that's okay? This way, the recipient has the choice to either accept it or refuse it. After all, you don't know the person's situation, and it's always good to err on the side of caution. It's always good to err on the side of caution. That's another good cliche. Okay? It's always good to err on the side of caution. But let me go and see if the correct pronunciation is Air. What the fuck?
Air.
I think Air.
Air.
Are you sure? Let's go to the all-time good resource, dictionary.com, and I type in
air or
Okay, dual pronunciation. Air or
air or
air or Okay, so it's always good to err on the side of caution. It's always good to err on the side of caution. It's always good to err on the side of caution. 3. Reading the menu out loud. Don't read the entire menu obnoxiously, just like Chinese, man. Chinese, because of their 4 shangtiao, is very loud to be around with the Chinese. But as I'm a Chinese learner, I'm okay. Some people come to the bar, get the menu, and read the entire menu out loud as if they've never seen one before. It can be a little obnoxious. While we appreciate the excitement and eagerness, please be aware of the surroundings because that could annoy someone else next to you. Dude, don't ask questions. It's okay not to know everything on the menu or not to know what you want to order. We are very happy to answer questions for you because we want to give you the best experience. We don't want you to order something you hate and then you are stuck with it. You don't want to regret when you're drinking, man. Then you get pissed off, turned off, pissed off, comes off, fuck off, a lot of off here, and you get pissed off. My sergeant got pissed off at my, my on the side of caution. Yeah, I miss Sergeant Jennings. I think Sergeant Jennings and the Sergeant, what's his name? Archer. Sergeant Vaughn, First Sergeant Vaughn, Staff Sergeant Archer, Sergeant Mueller. All of them worked at the 516th Personnel Service Company or PSC at Camp Henry. If you are out there, if you know one of them, please contact me. I would like to meet them, whether in Korea or in America. Yes, they were good to me. Sometimes I was bad to them, but I would like to meet them, shake hands, and maybe shower them with gifts and see how they are doing, how they are faring. And maybe one or two have been killed at a war, or they just not on this earth anymore because of their age. I'm not sure. If you don't know what something on the menu is, please ask. You can say, I'm sorry, what is the Saint Germain? Feel free to give us an example of the spirits and flavors you like. For example, you can ask, hey, I can't think of anything that I really want right now. Can you make me something with tequila, or I usually like margaritas? Can you make me something like it? This will give me a focal point to start on. This will give me a focal point to start on. That's another good expression. This will give me a focal point to start on. This will give me a focal point to start on. Also allow us to ask you questions such as, what do you usually drink when you go out? And do you want something strong? So I can engage in creating the drink you possibly like. Well, so that's kind of art, artisanship maybe. This will give me a focal point to start on. 4, leaving a small tip. Don't, if you racked up a tab of over $100, don't just leave $5 tip. Yeah, I would leave $5 tip. In Korea, we don't leave a tip. If you racked up a tab of over $100, that's fucking a lot of drinks, man. Don't just leave us a $5 tip. If you racked up a tab of over $100, your trip should be based on how much you spend. If you've been enjoying the drinks and racked up more than a $100 tab, leaving a measly a $5 tip is pretty terrible. Measly. 슬프게, 창피하게, 비참하게, right? Less or air. Measly. Yeah, smartphone age. You don't need the Merriam-Webster dictionary anymore. Everything is at your hand, always ready to jump in front of you. Measly. Affected with measles, pertaining to or resembling the measles. Scrappy, wretched, poor. Measly, scrappy, wretched, poor. Okay. Your tip should be based on how much you spend. If you've been enjoying drinks and racked up more than $100 tip, leaving a measly $5 tip is pretty terrible. Do tip at least 18% for good service. When I'm at a bar, I will tip at least 18%. I am a bartender myself, so I understand what it's like to be behind bars and what it feels like when receiving no tips at all. Yeah, you feel like ripped off, pissed off, and turned off. However, I don't support tipping all the time. If somebody gives you bad service at a bar, it's essential to address it. Before you leave, take a moment to let someone who works at the bar know about your experience. It's the only way to address it and hopefully prevent some behavior in the future. No, just get rid of the tipping culture, man. 5. Not communicating. Don't come to the bar being rowdy and unruly. It's going to be difficult for us to understand what's happening here. Do tell your bartender about your situation, like time constraints or who is paying. Yeah, tell your bartender about your situation, like time constraints and who is paying. If you are going to a bar in a big group, communicate with us and let us know what is happening. For example, who is taking care of the first round of drinks and who is next, and how many tabs do you want to start? This helps your bartender have more control over the situation. How many tabs? If you are waiting for a friend or just grabbing a quick drink before dinner, let us know too, so we can serve you with a consideration of urgency. How many rounds? First round, second round, who is paying? If you're going to a bar in a big group, that's another good expression. Because in Korea, we go to a restaurant in a group of colleagues, in a group. If you're going to a bar in a big group, communicate with us and let us know what is happening. Okay, bartenders are both problem solvers and peacemakers. As bartenders, we have to be aware of everything that is going on at the bar. You never know if someone has entered the bar already drunk. Serving just one drink might push them over the edge. This makes it important for us to observe people's behaviors. If I notice someone who appears more touchy, chatty, or angry, I will put a glass of water in front of them to help them calm down a bit. A good bartender remembers faces. They may not remember the name, but especially if you see people sitting together or grouping together, again, we are watching all of this. We are watching everything in real time. We do not let people leave when they look visually inebriated, which is all bad for everyone involved. Yeah. Which is all bad for everyone involved. We do not let people leave when they look visibly inebriated. Grouping together, sitting together. We see people sitting together or grouping together. Yeah, that's good expression. Grouping together. We go to a restaurant in a group. When people are grouping together, right? If you work in the hospitality or service industry and have etiquette rules you'd like to share, email ariayang at yang@inside.com. But in Chinese, it's yang. But anyway, ariayang at inside.com. So this is good article, nothing serious, but the important thing is that we need to tip at least 18%, which is a lot. Otherwise, they would feel that your tip is just measly, scrappy, poor. Another thing is that communicate well with the bartender. I don't know, they are not managers, but not manager over your organization, but you need to communicate with them because they see you sitting together or grouping together in real time. And inebriated, be careful, which is all bad for everyone involved. This will come off as rude, or it will probably get you ignored. Don't snapping your fingers at the bartender. It comes off as rude, and it will probably get you ignored. They would be easily turned off, pissed off, and what else? Yeah. And what other expressions I learned from this article? Yeah, grouping together. We go to a restaurant in a group. Yeah, bartender. Yep. Communicate. Okay, let me go over the article one more time briefly to see if any new words or old words I could remember. Inside today, this as told to essay, right? I also ran cocktail classes. That's another good expression. I also ran cocktail classes. Help them build their menu. Snapping your fingers. It's rude. Get you ignored. This comes off as rude, and it will probably get you ignored. Making eye contact. Sending a drink to a stranger. Find attractive. Don't send them a drink, man. Reading the menu out loud. Obnoxious. Very obnoxious. Rowdy, chatty, quiet, calm down. Calm the fucking down. Get you pissed off. Regret. Saint Germain, I think. Hey, I can't think of anything. Yeah, usual attitude. Go out. Okay, leaving a small tip. A measly 5 tip is pretty terrible. Good service. Not communicating. If you're going to a bar in a big group, time constraints with paying. First round, start with several tabs. If you racked up a $100 bill, $100 tab, then if you rack up. Don't help them fucking calm down. A good bartender remembers faces. They may not remember the name, but if you see people sitting together or grouping together again, we are watching all of this. A good bartender remembers faces. If you work in the hospitality, which is all bad for everyone involved. If you work in the hospitality or service industry and have etiquette rules you'd like to share, email Aria Yang at ayang@inside.com. Okay, so that was a good article. I have to go now. I am in Nonsan City at the moment. I'm not sure if I want to go to Seoul right now or turn around and go back to Gwangju, because I don't know. When you are out on the road alone, you feel like you're lonely and you become horny. And once again, you are not in luck. I think I'll just go to a lotto shop and buy some tickets for tomorrow's drawing. So sayonara, everybody, take care, have a wonderful Friday.